Hey guys, what's up? TheFish here, back again with another War Thunder arcade battle. This one recorded just after the last one you saw. We're still in our Tier 2 British Spitfires. Mewtthax needs like one more kill to get his Mk Vc. So we're going up Domination this time. It's been a while since I played a Domination game. Should be fun. Jump right in with my 2B, as always, hold faithful. The Hispano cannons, I can't praise them enough. Just gonna climb to altitude, let other people capture the airbase. I'll just fly cover at altitude for them in case somebody decides to fly over here super quick, try and catch some guys down low. Starting to see some enemy dots popping up off in the distance there. Both sides have captured their airfield, and the first enemy is tagged. We have a whole mess of enemy fighters over there, both fighter, a Yak 9, a P400, as well as others that aren't yet tagged. AAA is opening up on both sides. See a Typhoon over there as well, another Yak 9. Early on in these games, it's just a matter of climbing to altitude. Not as much as in, say, realistic battles, but it's still something you're going to want to do. You always want to have an altitude advantage over the enemy. It gives you the versatility to be able to combat them effectively. So Mewtthax is on my wing. We're going to fly over towards the enemy fighters, looking for targets, and I spot, in a moment here, I spot a P40 Kitty Hawk, trying to be all sneaky, give the battle a wide berth and go around and maybe cap our airbase. So we decide to head over in that general direction. Always keeping an eye on the other fighters. I don't want to get surprised. Don't want somebody to get shots into me before I have an opportunity to react or respond, or to go evasive. And we're just gonna stay a little bit above this guy, head over towards him, and hope he doesn't see us coming. Unfortunately, it looks like he has seen us coming. He's turned towards us, and he is about to go heads up with Mewtthax. Get some hits into Mewtthax, but then I shred him with my 20mm Hispanos. Didn't stand much of a chance there, but there's that threat to our airfield dealt with. We still have altitude. We're still good there. Not seeing any immediate threats, so we turn back to the combat area. Just always looking for targets and looking for threats. See a lot of fighters down low fighting it out, dogfight style. And Mewtthax decides, you know what? I have cannons. I'm gonna go hunt down that HE-111. So I say, sure, have fun. I'll come with you just to make sure you don't die. So that's what we do. We decide to hunt down this HE-111 and try and put him in the ground. As Mewtthax needs that kill for the Mk Vc, I decide to just hang around, maybe put some shots into him, get the assist. But truth be told, we have a bit of trouble finishing this guy off. You'll see in just a moment. More spoilers. I just stick a couple of shots into him, try for the assist. But then, as it becomes apparent he's going to take a bit of a beating to kill, I decide, you know, he's diving down low where all the other fighters are. Better I get the kill than another teammate if Mewtthax can't have it. So we're both just blasting this guy, both out of 20 mils. The machine guns on the Spitfire is not great. You know, rifle caliber ammo. It's not going to do a whole lot against a big heavy bomber. And he's making a run for it. Mewtthax is still on his tail. My cannons are back. I see this Yak 9. Want to put some shots into him before he can get on Mewtthax's tail. Mewtthax goes defensive. I try and stay on this Yak, but suddenly the enemy team have arrived. So once again we're in a massive furball. A whole load of enemy fighters around us. Some friendlies too. And my engine dies on me. So, you know, I'm gonna try and land it in this clearing over here, because why not? Maybe I can convince a couple of those guys to crash into trees trying to get me. Wait for it. There's one. Mewtthax crashes as well. We've landed, do a little flip, and that guy crashes too. So I call that a fair trade. I went down, but I took 2 of them with me. No credit for causing them to crash, but you know, I have the little feeling inside that I did some good with my last breath in my 2B. So it wasn't lost in vain. Continuing over to the 2A, no cannons of course, just the rifle caliber machine guns. But it's fun to fly, it turns like a beast. And the number of machine guns can do some damage. It can shred control surfaces, saw a wing off if you get some good hits. Looking for more targets. See this Yak 1 away from his team. Mewtthax sees him also, decides to go heads up. Loses his pilot. TBF going heads up with him as well. Nearly have a collision there. Get behind the Yak 1B. Blast him with these machine guns. Set him on fire. Someone comes in and finishes him off, but I did enough damage to get the kill. Once again, just looking for targets. While climbing to altitude, you always, as I say, want to get altitude where you can. Spazzing out with the camera again, I don't know why I do that. Just something different. I'm gonna have to try and stop. Didn't see the scoreboard there. Me and Mewtthax both have a few kills. Something comes out of nowhere, takes some shots at me. Superficial damage only, I go defensive. See a 109 F4. Mewtthax lights him up. Now he has the opportunity to run here, but he doesn't take it. He instead decides it would be better to try and turn fight with a couple of Spitfires. We nearly have a disaster here. Me and Mewtthax touch a little bit. No damage to either of us. That could have been a disaster. That guy goes down, Mewtthax gets the kill, and I climb to altitude once again while reloading my machine guns. I have a lot of ammo left, but if I'm not actively fighting, I like to reload my guns. Unless I have cannons, because cannons take significantly longer to reload. 112, chasing Mewtthax here. Mewtthax gets critically damaged. And then shot down, and the 112 crashes into the back of his destroyed plane. Again, looking for enemies. Don't see any, so I turn around. Try and climb again. I see a whole load of enemy fighters down there, while chasing a friendly IL-2. Is it an IL-2? I can't quite see. No, it was an I-16. So I couldn't save that guy, but I'm gonna do my best to avenge him. Get some shots into the Bullfighter and the IL-2. IL-2 blows himself up with his bombs. I get the kill. You see a 109 with a Spitfire on his tail. Gotta help that guy. Take a risk by climbing after this guy. Makes me an easy target for anyone who might be following him. I do hit the 109 a little bit, but I'm sure he'll forgive me for that, since I pretty much just saved his life. I got lucky that nobody took advantage of my slow state in that climb. Try and get on the tail of this LA5. I had too much speed, so I decided to, instead of getting in front of him, just pull away, find a new target, try and keep up my momentum. Somebody on my tail, but I want to save this 109 from the Hurricane. Goes down. I couldn't save him this time, but he is on the runway, so he'll repair as long as nobody finishes him off. I'm just shredding this Hurricane, but getting shredded in return by a 110, that LA5. I realize that all my friends have disappeared, so I start to fly defensive, wait for my teammates to respawn and come and help me. The LA5 gets some more hits, and then the 110 takes my wing off with his cannons. Cannons are always going to do that to you. That's what they're designed for, after all. So I decide to change over into my bow fighter, heavy fighter on heavy fighter, but I forget to change my ammunition from ground targets to something that'll be effective against aircraft. So that was a newbie mistake. I'm loaded for killing ground targets, and there's no ground targets to kill. But anyway, let's go and get stuck in, do what I can. Ki-45 trying to land. Mewtthax is on fire, but he's doing his best to stop the cap. Mewtthax saves the day, goes down, but he stopped them from capping. They neutralized, but we can get it back easy enough. We're bleeding tickets now, though, so it's a race against time. Get some hits into the 112. Try and come around, finish him off. Somebody else does so. That other guy goes down. The 110's still up around here, so I fly over his way. This is what I got the bow fighter for. But these ground target rounds aren't doing as much as they could. I'm getting a lot of solid hits, but not doing a whole lot of damage. Just unloading into that guy. I put a lot of big holes in him. He goes down, I get the assist. I'm going to try and recap, but it's too late. That's it for that round. We'll check the scoreboard here in a minute. Okay, I got 5 kills. Mewtthax got, I think, 4. He gets the Mk 5 Spitfire. Now, we're quickly jumping over into another battle, this time Japanese Tier 2s, in Mewtthax's search for the A6M2. Now this one was recorded before the two you just watched. It's a bit of a warm-up game. Not a good game for Mewtthax, has to be said, but a good game for me, so I decided to stick it on the end here, make a nice full-length video instead of a 10-minute one. So A6M2 with, of course, the high explosive fragmentation ammo, the tracer rack, and you're gonna see why I like those cannon rounds so very, very much in this half episode here. This is Ground Strike 2 Towns. Not one of my favorite Ground Strike maps, it has to be said, although I don't have a whole lot of favorite ground strike maps, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to dive down here, cutting my engine, because I don't want to get too much speed. I've been playing this a lot in realistic battles, where it's very easy to rip your wings. Arcade, of course, you can't do that, but it's good to stay in practice. So I see this buffalo, and I delete him. He's gone. No buffalo. That was literally like one hit from the 20 mils, just obliterated his plane, and that's why I like them so much. See a Yak 9T, a little bit more heavily armored than the buffalo. Get some solid hits into him. We're always going to be able to stay on this guy's tail. I pressed his wings fall off button, and all his wings fell off. You see Mewtthax in his A6M2N variant. It's the same as what I'm in, except with a giant float strapped to its belly. It's very slow, turns like a bus, and is all around not a great plane. Except it does get these 20mm cannons with the high explosive fragmentation shells. So it's good for that. But it's not good to fly, it's not fun. It's difficult, it's challenging to get kills in it. I'm trying to put this Yak 9T down. I get close to him, so I pull back, get some altitude, and come back for another pass, rather than overshooting him, putting myself in position of his guns. Someone's shooting at me. P-47 critically damaged Mewtthax, and now appears to be on my tail. So I break off that guy, do some maneuvers to try and throw him off my scent. He goes down, so does the Yak I was chasing. That's 3 kills in a matter of minutes here. Mewtthax still has no kills, but like I said, the A6M2N isn't the best plane in the world. I'm gonna try and chase this other Yak down here, this Yak 3P. Mewtthax is on him as well. Pop his wing. 4 kills, 3 assists for Mewtthax. Assists are always worth the effort, you know, you get some points, some lines. If anything, I'd like to see assists being rewarded higher in War Thunder, particularly in realistic battles, because realistic battles, if you're flying energy fighters, you might not be finishing off a lot of your targets. You're going to be diving on them, shooting them, and then pulling out. And somebody else comes along, gets the kill, and your reward, although you perhaps did a whole lot of damage, isn't as high as perhaps you feel like it should be. Anyway, I'm on this tail of this bow fighter who's trying to torpedo our ships. Drops his torpedo there. Wait for my opportunity to shoot. Don't quite get it. And he collides with our Typhoon. So nobody gets to kill that guy. It's a shame when that happens, robbing your team of a kill. But sometimes it's unavoidable. And a boomerang comes out of nowhere, kills my pilot, sets me on fire. I didn't even see that guy, and I paid the price. Debating what plane to jump into here. Ki-45s. Yeah, I'm gonna jump in a heavy fighter. No different ammo loadouts. Can't take any less fuel, so let's just go for it. Mewtthax is still up in his A6M2N. Or not, I think he just went down. A whole mess of enemy fighters down there. I see this B7A2. I'm kitted out for hunting down these heavier aircraft. The B-7A2 is a ground attack aircraft, I believe. So I figure I'll go and introduce him to my 37mm cannon. Have trouble hitting him, but when I do, it is to great effect. He got his bombs off though, unfortunately. Don't know if he scored any ground kills. So now I'm going to climb away from the enemy fighters, gain some altitude again, before heading back in. See what else I can kill. Mewtthax is in a Ki-45 as well. And ever aggressive, he's just gonna dive straight into that big old group of fighters over there. He does have some friendlies with him, so it's a risk, but it might pay off. I'm gonna head back over there, see if I can help. He has an LA-5 on his tail, and the LA-5 indeed kills him. I arrive just a little bit too late, but I figure I can perhaps avenge him. But the LA-5 goes down. Hits that poor person's house there. But oh well. I'm sure he has insurance. Reason for claim: LA-5 crushed through front window. I wonder if that's covered. Like, aircraft crashing into your house? I wonder if that's covered by your home insurance. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen to anyone to have to find out that they're not covered. So, I'm gonna try and get on the tail of this guy here. Pulling some high G turns, blacking out. Yak 3 chasing our P400. I'm being very careful. I don't want to get any crashes anyway. I was being careful to make my intentions clear to my team so I wouldn't come out of nowhere and potentially collide into anybody, but in the end I didn't need to get involved. So instead I see the Spitfire, decide to go after him. I get shot, I look at my minimap, I only see a blue dot, so I think it's a friendly shooting me, and then I get hit again and a red dot appears. So I go defensive, try to turn around, and as quickly as it started, everybody is dead, and we're back to just the Spitfire. But then somebody else is on my tail. I can hear the shots hitting around me. He overshoots. I decide to take the opportunity to just get out of there. I was in a disadvantage for that fight. Never fight at a disadvantage if you can get out of it. So I took the safe option. Put some distance between me and the enemy, turn around, come back. 5 kills for me, still none for Mewtthax. Boomerang hits him. He's in his Ki-61 now. I lose my pilot. Mewtthax is on that guy's tail, but Boomerang is a great little fighter, premium British fighter. So I decide it's time for some more high explosive fragmentation cannon shells. So I jump in the A6, M2, N variety. Mewtthax goes down from a bowfighter. I'm gonna head over there. No kills from Mewtthax, but he did get a whole lot of assists. So it's all points on the board. I'm gonna dive down onto this plane, but match ends. Punisher award. We'll just get the scoreboard here, and then we'll end this video. So 5 kills, 13,000 lions. Punisher award. As always, thank you for watching. I've been TheFish. See you next time.